So this is Sketchbook 16 of my illustration degree. So this next one is about, it's actually an assignment rather than an exercise. So this was my final assignment for my illustration unit. So we had to come up with some like marketing material for a particular company, but you had to write your own brief. So, and the concept was it had to be over 7 days and it had to have 7 images in it. So the ones that I came up with was a flower blooming over a 7-day period, so from like the bud to the full bloom. A small book based on like a fairy, so what she got up to in 7 days. An educational pamphlet on a pandemic, so because we was going through a pandemic and lockdown, I had some ideas for that. And the other one was like a nature leaflet, the 7 days in the life cycle of a butterfly, so from caterpillar to a fully grown butterfly. So I did a spider diagram on each of them. So this one was the flower bloom one. Then I did a fairy one, then the pandemic one, and then the butterfly one. And then I decided upon the actual flower bloom one. So I highlighted a couple of words from that which I wanted to take forward. So they were petals, unravel, buds, stalk, spring, open, swell and burst. And then I took those and sort of did a mood board on the sort of thing that I wanted to do. So basically it was like a step-by-step of the flower blooming, so from buds to opening a little bit more than fully bloomed. So other little pictures here. Obviously this one was a dandelion, a freesia, and just different ones here. So that was the concept I had in my head behind it. I did one for the butterfly one because I kept coming back, I wasn't sure between the two. So this was like a life cycle of a butterfly and the step-by-step process, so this was another mood board for that. But I did go with the flower bloom one. So I did an overview of the brief because you had to write the brief yourself as well. So obviously I wrote down a few questions, so like what sort of job would it be, what type of project, the project description, the vision of the project, the details, the target audience, the skills that you needed, the deadline, the budget and the point of contact. I then wrote that out in a proper brief for myself, just so that I had something that I could use to move forward from. So basically it was a horticultural botanical leaflet, 7 days of a flower blooming. It would be a 7-folded leaflet, and it would be a national leaflet for the Royal Horticultural Society. And then it just goes on over 3 pages about the project and the ideas I had behind it. So basically it was going to be based on the Chelsea flower show, or the RHS flower shows that they have over the year. So I did another mood board of like the Chelsea flower show, the logo and what sort of images that they've had in the past on their shows, and obviously the images from inside the marquees. Then I did another mood board based on the type and style of the pictures that I wanted to create. So basically it was going to be a 7 or 8 page leaflet to promote the show, and that was the styles I was looking for. Then I did some colour tests in gouache paint, or gouache paint, and then the same in watercolours. Then I started doing some thumbnails of the kind of ideas that I was going from, so from buds to full blooms. And then I did some more thumbnails, these are on tulip flowers, and then I did some more sketches on the tulips here. And then I tried a lily one as well. And then I started going into hand-drawn typography for the word blooming, and tried different styles in that. Then I did it on the computer, so what fonts I could use, and I wrote down the ones there that I liked the best. Then I started on some watercolours of the buds, and then more of the actual flowers as they bloom. This one's got coloured pencils in it as well, just to add some more details. And that was the full bloom watercolour. And then this was another one of like a small bouquet of it. Then again, some more hand-drawn typography of different words that I was going to use, so like day, gorgeous, illustrator, blooming. And then I was putting them together to see how they would come up with on each page. So where the logo was going to go, where the writing was going to go and that. And then the background colours, this one was a green. Then I tried placing the words in different places. And then a black here, just to see if it added anything to it. And then I moved on to the next sketchbook, so carried it over. So again I went back to the white because I found that was the best. And then here are the actual pages, so this is page 1 of the buds, and then when it changes colour. And then here it opens slightly at the top, and then it opens even more. So this is my illustration that I just scanned on the computer. And then day 5 and day 6 where it's fully bloomed. And then day 7, so this would be the front cover and the back cover where it was in like a little bouquet. Then I tried it in black and white, but because the watercolour is quite soft it didn't really come out that much. And then here it is as thumbnails set up, and then here it is as a strip. So I then printed this off and then folded it. So here it is here. So this is the little booklet here. So it's got the bloom on the front, and then we've got day 1, so the buds, day 2 when it changes colour, day 3 when it slightly opens, day 4 when it's coming open, day 5 when it's nearly there, day 6 when it's at full bloom, and then again the bouquet at the back just as an end page. So that's how it would look. It's a concertina style leaflet, and it's got the logo all the way through it, and it can have information on the back if it needs to. But I didn't finish there because I felt this was quite simple. It looked quite bare, some of the pages. So then I went back to it. So each time I had one of the buds or the flowers, I kept adding to it. So here's day 1, so I've got lots of buds, and then I kept the buds on there and then added the buds as they change colour. So you've got the first buds and then the buds as they could change colour there. So then I kept them there and then added the ones where it comes open slightly. And then again I kept all them ones there and added them as they open a little bit. And then when they open a bit more, and then when they're at full bloom. So I'm creating like a big bouquet, so that the last one is the biggest bouquet. So then I just changed the writing so it was bigger and got rid of some of the wording to make the wording simpler but the drawing more intricate. So there it is over the 7 days. So I printed it that way to do a little mock-up again. Some of it's coming off of the page as well, which I think works quite well. So here's the little mock-up again. So here you've got the big bouquet at the front, so obviously that's grown. Then you've got the buds, the ones where they change colour, when they open a little, when they open even more, when they're nearly open, and then when they're at full bloom, and then the full bouquet again. So the wording's a lot simpler, the logo's still there, and then again you've got the back as well for information. So that was that. So that was the last assignment that I did. And then I just wanted to show you. So at the end of my degree you had to pick out 10 of the actual exercises or assignments that you did that you wanted to send for assessment. So I'm just going to show you those. So I decided to pick the first assignment that I did, so which was the card. So that's that.